All right. Tabs, welcome to No Band.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for letting us shoot in here.
All right, now.
So let's just do a little background. Where are you from?
I am from California, Los Angeles to be exact. I would do the.
Hey, I mean, now's the perfect
Sorry.
time to do it. Kendrick is
Okay,
repping,
sorry. Oh, don't. Okay, sorry. Let me stay on my seat. I was about to get up and Kendrick walk on y'all. But yeah, LA. That's where I'm born and raised.
So, how did you end up in Atlanta?
Okay. So born and raised LA by way of Brooklyn, 14 years. And then it was like, okay, I want to actually live and not just exist. And don't get me wrong, New York is everything. It's all the energy you need, it's all the everything you need, except for you have to be a millionaire or 100,000aire to live comfortably or go to Jersey. And I didn't want to go to Jersey. So I came here. My family was already here, established, so they could kind of show me the way and the ropes and introduce me to people and things like that. I didn't want to move, but literally, financially, it was right before COVID hit. So it was just like, this just makes sense. And again, if I want to live and not exist, this is what I have to do.
So, how was it adjusting from like the hustle and bustle of New York to being down south?
It was actually great because I'm from Cali. So naturally, we already have greenery, the woods, all of those things. And I am a little old school at heart, as you can see, Vintage Land. So it spoke to my soul to come out here and for things to be a little bit slower and for me to have the best of both worlds. So I could be in Austell, I could be in Smyrna, and a little bit away from the city. You still have city there, don't get me wrong, but away from Atlanta and have like, and live and thrive and enjoy and create the life that I've been dreaming of living. But also it's feasible and I can still enjoy the city and go out. Like if I were in New York, I want to go out and have a drink or go to a fancy restaurant. I can still have those things. They're not taken away because I'm here.
Right.
So that's what got me here, wanting to actually enjoy life and live life. And obviously, let's be honest, it's the black mecca, and I'm a black woman, and that really spoke to me. So,
I love that. I love that because I was born in Georgia,
okay,
and my I have family up in Massachusetts and Maryland, so we would
okay,
drive through New York all the time. My dad's side, his family's in New York, so
okay.
I'm very used to New York, but I've
Yes.
always disliked it. I have
It's
bad
a
memories.
dislike.
So
Shoot.
I'm number one New York hater, but
Number one. Shoot, I'm
shout out to
sorry.
Atlanta. I'm glad you found home down here.
Yes, I did.
So what was like early life like? Like how did you grow up and
Oh,
how did that kind of like lead into what you are now?
it was great. Early life was great. I'm not gonna lie. I was born into not a life of luxury, but my mom provided a life of comfortability where I knew nothing of like struggle or any of those things. I cannot lie to you. I left like, yeah, I'm struggling. I was in there. No, no. I had a very good life, but I also understood that I have to create this for myself and I can't just expect it to just be like, okay, here, this is yours now and do with it what you will. So mm, I had a really a life of good foundation. I was able to travel. I was able to learn different things, do ballet, do piano, which I hated. I cried. I cried. I cried. Like, get me out of here, please, never again. But that was able to mold me and help me to find what I wanted to do. So I went to FITM. I remember my mom walking me around FITM, which is a fashion institute in California. And I said, okay, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. This is calling to me. And I don't know, that's where I guess half of my dream was born, and then I kind of cultivated it as I went on.
So at that point, is that when you realized you wanted to be an entrepreneur, or did you like just say you wanted to work in
I
fashion?
knew I wanted to work in fashion, and then when I got a little bit older, again, to speak to my life in California and as I was growing up before I got to New York, because that's first, New York was first. After college, I knew that my mom had multiple businesses. She was a real estate agent, but she had her own store, and that is where I said, okay, no, I need to. Also, I did work some jobs in college and things like that, and it was like, these people telling me what to do so much, and like I'm not getting it's not making sense. It's not adding up. I'm helping you establish your dream on top of that while mine is just still here. It's not making sense to me. So I have to make it. I'm an Aquarius. It has to make sense to me. So yeah, that all kind of developed a whole big entrepreneurship. And then I guess fashion came later because I tried other things in business before this. It was fashion, geared towards fashion, but it wasn't vintage. So then I slowly but surely got here. Yes.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's one of the most common things when it comes to entrepreneurs, because I realized at a pretty young age I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and then once
Okay.
I started getting more into the
That's
workforce,
pretty
I was
dope.
like, I don't like people telling me what to do. You know?
And sometimes it doesn't even make sense, and you want me to
Yeah.
listen to you. No, I'm not gonna do that.
And then the funny thing is, like, the reality of being in a service-based industry, because I work in video and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I still have a boss technically, because
Mm-hmm.
if I'm providing
I
a
know what you
service,
mean.
like if I'm doing video work, I have to answer to somebody,
Yes.
to make sure they like it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it's like that give and take, but still having that freedom of, I set my own schedule, and having that creative freedom
Absolutely.
is definitely the dream.
That is it.
So how did you, or actually, how would you describe Vintage Land? Like, if you wanted to pitch it to somebody, how would you describe it?
Okay, it's your favorite. Excuse me for this. I'm gonna steal it from my favorite rapper. Well, I don't know. Sometimes when you start to learn people, because now we have social media, and you start to learn like real people. He was my favorite rapper. I don't know where he is right now, but I'm gonna steal a little line from him. First of all, we're your favorite vintage store's favorite vintage store. So they come to us to get the goods, to get the vibes, for the energy. We're cultivating not only, this is not just a store. We're creating a community here. As you can see, we're here now creating a community with you. And so we don't want you to just come and shop. We want you to come and we want you to leave here feeling good. Not that just you spent some money or you found something good, but you came here and if you were having a bad day, you left feeling a little bit better. You came here and if you didn't know what you were going to wear, now you feel like I'm the baddest in the room. You came here and you just needed to talk to someone and you got a little bit of that too. You came here and you needed a free drink for the day and just to enjoy yourself. Maybe not to necessarily shop. Please come and spend all the coins. Please. Don't take away from this message. But that's not all we care about here. We're creating a community also where creatives can come together. We are not just a vintage store, we're a collective space. So we have multiple shelves that are all different small business owners. We have multiple racks that are all different small business owners, and we all work under one hood and one umbrella to share each other's stuff, to push each other's stuff, and make sure that everybody eats, everybody wins, everybody gets their dream out there for the world to see. That's what you can expect from Vintage Land. And of course, the dopest vintage pieces you can ever find.
That is not a lie. There's a lot of dope pieces in here.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. But so I want to touch on the community aspect. So, like, why is building community so important to you?
Number one, because it's how I was raised. I don't believe that. Of course, my mother, she's the matriarch of my world and my family, my everything. But also, I saw that my mom had help and that if she were by herself, some of this would not be possible. So I wouldn't open a store and have this ability to give opportunity to other people and say, oh no, it's just my store and I've done this. And to me, that is, at this point, with what we're dealing with in life as well, we need as much community as we can get. That's why we got to work together, baby, because they, ooh. But yeah, community. It's a thing. And it pushes everybody up. My mommy told me this too. You can go like this. You can't fit anything in there. If you go like that, you can fit water starts flowing, money starts flowing, everybody wins. But like that, nothing goes through. So you keep it to yourself and it's going to be by yourself eventually. But you open it up and everybody wins.
Absolutely. That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy.
I told you, the matriarch.
I think it's. I want to just talk about the matriarch part because I grew up in a mainly women household.
Okay. Oh yes, you did say
single
that.
mother. My dad was in my life, but two older sisters,
Same.
and then my mom's side of the family is all women. I don't have any uncles. You know what I'm saying? And I pretty much was only really in tune with my mom's side. So women have pretty much been a part of my life from all of my life. So like having a strong matriarch is I resonate with so much. Like my mom is that for me, and then above that is my grandma, who we call teacher, and she is
I love
the
that. I love that.
So
Yes.
it's super important, and they instilled community in me. So like for me, I'm an introvert. So it took a little bit
Same.
for me, Aquarius. It took a while for me to like open up to the idea of like letting people in to be a part of what I'm trying to do. Because I was the type of kid who I was able to lead, but I was just like, I don't need to. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
have
need
to
to, and
do
I don't
that.
want to.
Right. And but like if
I
if I'm in,
can.
right, exactly. But if I'm in a group project and I realize it's not getting done, I'm like, all right, let me step in.
Yep. Because now I have to do what I have to do.
Exactly. So like with my brand, I had to really. It took in the beginning. It was a little. I was a little rigid. I was very rigid. I was like, don't ask me nothing, even though I'm working in a group of rigid people. but like as the years went on, I started realizing I'm like, you have to be open to working with people, and having connections. I was able to ask Chelsea if she could be in the video. Ask Cam, what I'm saying, be my shooter for today. So it's having a community is super important to building anything, because you can have a whole lot of nothing by yourself.
Yes.
Or you can have a whole lot of something with
yes.
everybody,
That's a good one. Yes, sir.
So, what were the challenges you faced opening up Vintage Land? Because there's a lot. There's gonna be a lot when opening up.
You see that smile right there? There's like 20,000 stories behind it. Okay, so first I started online. That was everything. Not realizing that with social media, good and bad, but there was good for me in my business and starting my business, because we did live sales and everyone basically was like, oh, this is cool. I didn't even know there were vintage pieces that I could find like this. And then I didn't know there was a whole group of people. So we would all get on as a group and sell our pieces, like 4 people in a live sale. That was very comfortable. I can press stop on the live sale and then I'm done. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to interact with people. So Aquarius, I'm a people person as much as I want to be and need to be for the moment. But also you have to realize I'm running a business. That's just not going to work. So there's that. But also, can you ask me the question one more time?
So what were the challenges you faced?
Okay, thank you. Because see, that's how traumatic it was. I just try to push it to the back. Challenges. So I finally got myself into a store, and I thought it would be community. I thought it would be an amazing thing where everyone works together, because it was all small businesses, tiny small businesses, and it wasn't what I thought it would be. Let's just leave it at that. It wasn't what I thought it would be. So much so that it was like, okay, you got to make something happen. You got to figure this out. And I tried to figure something out where I thought I was going to, do certain things with certain people and businesses. And that's a part of not wanting to let go of the reins or work with other people, because then you have to, if I work with someone else, then you are letting go of some of the control, and you have to also rely on them, trust them, understand that you can't think of everything, and some stuff that they have to say is right and true, and you don't know everything. All of that, when you are so much of a hold on to the reins and no, I got this and everybody look out. So those were the struggles for me. Thinking that I would have, when I move into a space of all small businesses and small business owners, we would all work together. We would all uplift people. Everybody would be open to my ideas, but I'm not the type of person that comes in and is like, oh, everything I say is right. I'm going to be open to your ideas too. Let's throw it on the table. Let's take away the bad ones. Let's go with the good ones. Nobody was open to any of that. So that kind of pushed me back a little bit, like, whoa, what's happening here? But with business, you can't, none of that can discourage you. You just have to keep going. So those things happened. Someone, I thought I would have something, and that didn't happen. That didn't go through. And then I got this, and it was like, here we are. Okay, all of those things that discouraged me, that made me very scared. At one point, I was just like, forget it. I don't even want to do the store. I'll go back to online. It'll be fine. That was comfortable for me. That was safe. I was making my money the way I needed to, and I didn't have to deal with other entities. Right. But all of that was also pushing me towards this right here. So I didn't give up. I was a little bit, step back for 2 seconds, but that gives you time to evaluate. And then, okay, here we are.
Love that. Love that. I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to entrepreneurship is there's going to be many challenges every step of the way, and you can't let any of them block you, And there was actually a Instagram reel. I forgot who it was, but they were on the Breakfast Club, and they were saying that it's okay to quit, but never give up. Because it's like if something you're doing is not working, you can quit that.
Yes.
And move on to something else.
Yes.
But as long as you don't give up,
that makes total sense. And I am agreeant to that.
Absolutely. So, quick question to your story. So that first store, was it in Atlanta or was it in?
It was in Atlanta.
Okay.
All of it was in Atlanta.
Where was it at?
Up the street.
Oh, okay. Right. Like still in Little 5 Points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. So you just shifted down. You're on the block now. You're on the end of the corner. You're like, don't even worry about me. I'm mama's got you.
Yep.
Got it.
And thriving.
Absolutely.
And loving it.
Love it. So why did you choose Little 5 Points?
Oh, because it's the baby New York of Atlanta to me. Like if I think of a Greenwich Village or it's a baby New York. It's the closest thing that I can get to New York, just where people come out, they dress how they want to dress. They do what they want to do. They have their dreams. Like in New York, people have dreams and nobody is going to stop them. I guess that's everywhere. But I feel like in New York, there was more of a community of, we all have something that we're working towards and we're all going to push each other towards that. And then like I said, maybe, and also it's just my experience, but getting to that point where somebody was like, no, we are not going to work together. I've done this longer than you and you don't know what you're talking. Like it was very discouraging, but I said, okay. Atlanta, New York, it doesn't matter where it is because you can experience that anywhere, really. It doesn't matter. You just have to, like you said, you can quit, but don't stop. Don't let them discourage you from your dream because then they win and they have all their dreams and then you're just sitting there like, nah, it can't be me, baby. Yeah. I'm going to win and I'm going to tap on yo when I do it too.
Yeah, I like that. So, how did you come up with the concept of the shop?
Oh, it's always been my dream. Just like laying down at night and like even when I'm born and raised in LA. So my mommy would take me to the thrift store and the goth store. Like I was a goth girl at one point in middle school and I would wear all black and they'd be like, that B? I'm like, dang, why y'all oh, dang, I didn't know that was what I was giving. Right. But hey, it is what it is. And even then I had big Aquarius energy. I really don't care. What are you you're not doing anything for me. But I was into the thrifting then, and then the thrifting evolved to, there's actually pieces that are so intricate that they have been here since 1985. It's something you've never seen in your life. You can go to, the fast fashion places, and they can try to imitate and emulate those things. But when you see a piece from 1985, that, first of all, it blows your mind because it's like, what designer thought of this creation? Right. And then it's still in one piece intact, and I can wear it for 10 more years and it'll be fine. I choose that over Shein and all those fashion places too. Don't get me wrong, they have cute stuff too. I'm a style, fashion, all of the things in one. So I can shop from anywhere and we're gonna put it together and put it on. But quality over quantity. And so I can buy 20 fast fashion pieces or I can buy this one vintage piece. And I'm going to stand out from the rest of you, first of all, because I'm an Aquarius and that's what we do. I should stop saying that. Because I prefer to not dress like everyone else. I prefer to just look a little different. Even when I was younger, I'm going to look a little bit older only because I'm in the vintage. And we're going to style it so it looks a little bit modern, but we're going to be in vintage and, very demure.
So, what did all of these pieces you collected, the decorations on the wall? You just collected over time?
Over time, and still today I bring in pieces every week, every Thursday. We bring in new pieces, not only clothing but home decor, memorabilia. Like I said, it's literally just in my veins. Like when I see a Jet magazine, I'm like, oh. When I see button covers, If anybody doesn't know what button covers are, you basically can take this right here, take a button cover, put it over it, and now you have 3 different buttons. And you can change it to any shirt you want to. They don't do that these days. You just go and buy a shirt and it has the buttons it has. Back in the day, they sold button covers where you could just take that one piece and change it into 10 different pieces. So that's what speaks to me. And even like a Space Jam piece, Michael Jordan. Everybody tries to buy my Michael Jordan Space Jam piece, and it's not happening. It's not for sale. I have Deion Sanders, but from back in the day, baby, college. You want to buy that? Not for sale. Not when he's popping right now. Now y'all want it? No, you can't have it. So it's the nostalgia. It gives me just a little butterflies. It's so good.
I like that. We had a studio on the West End, and we had it from 2023 to spring, like to May of 2024. And that was my first time designing a space, and I had help for the first draft. The second draft was on me. But
that's right. Talking
I really wanted to capture that vibe of, because I was born in 2000, so I wanted to capture that vibe of the early 2000s / into the 90s era. You know, the CRT TVs,
yes.
You know, like the VHSs, like the neon lights and stuff like that. And so every time I go into the studio, it just felt like what I wanted to feel.
Right?
I get it.
Like, this feels good. It just feels good.
So so 2 things. It's like a 2-parter. So what's your favorite item in the shop? It could be clothing or just like wall decor. And then what's your favorite thing about having the shop?
That is impossible to answer. My favorite piece in here. That is so funny. All of it is my answer. Sorry, but literally every time somebody picks up a piece of clothing, I'm like, ooh, are you sure you want it? Like, I know I'm in here to sell stuff, but are you sure you want this piece? Right. You can just leave it here with me. So there's that. Seriously, all of this vintage stuff, how you said, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like home. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel great. And then I'm an old soul, like literally. But also, if you compare these new products and things to the old products and things, like the TV, you asked me if it worked. It does work. It's just that I have to get the converter piece so that I could put on a movie, but I could watch it. I could get an antenna, and that's what it is for me. Like, you could even buy a flat screen TV today, and probably in 5 years, maybe 10 years, your TV's gonna start going out. This TV right here is from 1977, and you can still turn it on. You can still put an antenna in it, and it will work. So the fact that they took so much attention to detail, they cared about what they were putting in the machines, what they were putting in our bodies, they cared about us a little bit more, I would say, before it got so watered down into just money and commercial things. And, you know, I'm a businesswoman, so I understand, but I don't think you have to take away basic human rights or just basic things for people to still be human and for us to have humanity. Like, these things make people feel good because they remember a time when things were not so stressful. And we have internet and Instagram, and we love those things. But when you can go out and hopscotch, or you had your video game, but you put it down and you do a little double dutch real quick, hop in that thing. Hey. Wasn't so stressful.
Being able to go back to those times, those memories.
Yes, it's very much so quality over quantity again.
The one thing I do not miss about these old TVs is the sound.
Oh, I know.
As soon as I got
and the visual. Yeah. It's a little like, they used to knock on the top of that thing. Get back in visual so we can see the TV.
What were some of the things you learned being an entrepreneur? Like, what would just say top 3 things that you feel like sharing that you're like?
Don't ever give up. If that is your dream and your passion, do not give up. Pivot, yes. Change your circle. If you have, evaluate. So do not give up. Number 2, always be evaluating. because even right now I'm evaluating, is this the best supplier for this? Is this the best service for this? You can always be better. That's number 3. Oh, wait, no, number 3 is give yourself grace. Sorry, give yourself grace. Because as an entrepreneur, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, every single hour, we're thinking of something. What's this new idea? Especially now with Instagram and all these things. We are now video creators. Like, I watch movies and I will see a transition and I say, oh, that's a transition. Because I know I've been in my phone putting on transition. No, move that over a little bit. No, shorten that up. No, change the music there. Give yourself grace. We are human beings. We're not machines. We're not multi-billion-dollar companies with all this backing that has all of this. Even this right here, I'm a small business. I have the help of my mother, my husband, and maybe one other person and the community, because obviously without them, there is none of this. But you are still only one person. I can go home at night. I can think of all those things. I can still only check off so many of those things. And then tomorrow we'll do some more. So give yourself grace. Do not ever stop. I forgot the second one, but y'all got it because it's recorded.
So I feel like you spoke on this a little bit more, earlier, but are there any women in your life or in the industry that you look to for inspiration or as like a blueprint?
Well, we already know the matriarch, my mother, is number 1. Getting a little sparse after that. Hold on. Let me think. I'm not going to lie. I don't necessarily have a list, but I do like social media for the fact that I can see millions of women and Black women, because I don't want to discount, but women and really start all over. Black women and women that are showing me it's possible. I can keep going. They might not necessarily show all of their downs along with ups, but that's one thing I do like about social media is the ability to see that it is possible, that even when you take a loss, you can keep going. Even when you fall, you can get up and keep going. And there are a lot of people like us. Like we are all trying to make this happen. And again, with a community, we can.
So what's your final message to the women watching that might want to become entrepreneurs?
You are beautiful, amazing. You can do anything that you want to do. You do have to do a little work. I lied. You have to do a lot of work. A lot of work. There will be some steps up, there will be some steps back, and then some more steps up again. But if you stop at the steps back, you're not going to make it up to that really, really top. So again, do not stop. There's no person that should make you stop. There's no instance that should make you stop. Should it slow you down? Yes, because we're human beings. I'm a human. At some point, I'm going to cry. I'm going to scream. I'm going to fight you a little bit. I don't know. Depends on where I am at the moment. But there's no person that is more important than my dreams except for maybe me. And like you said, you can pivot. If maybe that dream is not working, you pivot to the other dream that makes more sense in your mind. But do not let any one win outside of you. And then everybody else can win too. That's real simple. Like if you're winning and you have a good enough heart, you're going to bring the people with you. My mother and I, after we got here, there's a lot that we've seen, that we've dealt with, but we want to help as much as we can, have fun as much as we can, live, not exist, live. You could be here. You can just be here existing. Or you could be here and you can live. So that's what I say too. After you do all that hard work, make sure you live, because that's what we're here for. Not just to work. Follow your dreams and all that good stuff. And then live too while you're doing that. Okay, that's it.
I like that. Before we sign off, just tell them where they can find you, like address to the shop, if they want to become a vendor at your shop,
Come on now. Okay, plugs. None shameless. All plugs. Okay. Vintage Land. On Instagram, we are at Vintage Land ATL. On the tick of the talk, we are at Vintage Land ATL. We are in Little Five Points at 1083 Euclid Avenue, Little Five Points. We are at the end of the block or the beginning of the block. It depends on what your brain says, half full, half empty. It depends on how you think of it. And we also have a new YouTube channel coming out. We have 3 events every month, and we have 2 pop-ups every month. And we have a multitude of vendors. You can always find new things. Every Thursday, we drop new items. And we're a collective space. So we have over 14 small businesses in this one store on top of the good vintage that you can find. So, yes. And thank you so much for not only coming and picking our spot as the spot for your dopeness, but for the interview and the opportunity. We appreciate you very, very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I don't know where to look.